right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Saturday, November 13th, and we're back for the What I Drank Yesterday portion of the show. And as I mentioned, we don't see a lot of suppliers in the month of November, December. We're just too busy selling wine. But hey, we're not too busy to drink. And you know what yesterday was? Friday. That's right, folks. And what happens on Friday here at the Wine Watch? Happy hour. I don't know. Just people are drawn to this store around 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon, and people start opening up bottles, and who am I to say no? And thank you, Robert, for stopping in yesterday, our solo happy hour, or I guess we had a couple other people stop in and pop open a few bottles. We had the Pessac wine from Spinetta Chevalier, 2000 vintage, fantastic, drinking beautifully. We just got a little more of this wine in, and hopefully we'll have it for the next couple of weeks. Drinking beautifully right now. We also got a little 2003 Domaine de Chevalier, the top wine from this property, one of the great properties of Pessac Domaine de Chevalier, 2003, a very forward and California-esque vintage. The 2000 is Spirit, just drinking at or near its peak. Classic Pessac, has that lovely gravelly minerality to it, lovely light hint of coffee still left there, and some beautiful soft red currant berry fruit. Really nice, as I mentioned before, textbook vintage Bordeaux. And the best buys in Bordeaux are second wines like this from a great property, from a great vintage like 2000. And hey, you'd pay more than that for this wine wholesale today for the current release, the 07, which is not such a great vintage. All right, then a little 2007 Mondavi Napa. Hey, what do you know? We just got in like 40 cases of this wine. Well, most of it's gone, but drinking beautifully as well. This 2007 vintage, a classic year from Napa Valley. Even little wines like this, Mondavi Napa, a great little value. We have it at the best price in this country. And then another great little value from Chateau Blegnan, which is a little Medoc. And Medoc is an area in the upper portion of the left bank, up near Saint-Emilion or Saint-Julien, Saint-Estephe-Pauillac, and just above Margaux, and making some great wines in the Medoc and great values. To think we can offer you a little wine like this for under $15 a bottle. 2005, as you know, a phenomenal vintage in Bordeaux. And this wine still has got a little bit of kick to it, so maybe a couple more years left. You know, hey, all Bordeaux's are not meant to be aged for 20 or 30 years. Only the best wines in Bordeaux do you want to keep for a long time. The other ones, hey, you want to drink up, just like those 2009 Bordeaux's we just got in. You don't want to hold on to those for 5 years. Those are meant to be drank on release. All right, well, a pretty decent day in the store for happy hour, and you know I'm drinking at home, folks. We had a few friends over, so that's why you see the bottles multiply like this. And a good friend of mine, Paul Castronovo, who is the local DJ on 105.9, sent me in a bottle of his wine, which I've been talking to Paul about this since he originally started thinking about the concept of putting his name on a bottle of wine. Paul, a very popular person in South Florida, radio personality, great guy, good friend, and fellow wine drinker. And, you know, he's got a pretty decent little wine here, I'd have to say. You know, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo is kind of like the armpit of Italian wines. Well, not to say that they don't make great wines in Abruzzi. Hey, Valentini, one of my favorite wines in the world. One of the wines that I smuggle back with me in my suitcase is from this area. And, you know, there's just an ocean of average wine out there. But this is a decent little bottle of wine, and at the price, I can see us selling a little bit of this for you, Paul. Paul has promised to show up at our best of tasting to show it to you guys in January. So we will have this wine in the store. Good job, Paul. Nice little packaging there. A nice story on the back about your Italian heritage. Little Montepulciano d'Abruzzi. Okay, next up, we had a little Phelps 2005 Napa Cab. 2005 and 2007 to me are the best two vintages in the decade, the first decade of this century, this new century, and they are going to be classics, going to be around for a long time. The Phelps Napa Cab, drinking beautifully, lovely black cherry and black currant berry fruit in there. You notice still a lot of oak spice in this wine as it's really young, and some tannin in there. Really nice Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's got some legs to it. And then 2002 La Spinetta Barbaresco, man. I have been chugging this stuff down. It is drinking beautifully. Not a great vintage from the Piedmont, but hey, when you've got a producer like La Spinetta, and these are his single vineyard wines blended together, Starderi, Galena, and Valorano. Usually, he just makes a small amount of these anyways, 1,000 cases, but he made even less than that of this one wine with the best juice from those three vineyards in an underwhelming vintage. But hey, what the most important thing to look for on the label is the producer. And Giorgio put out a fantastic bottle of wine at under $40. One of the best drinking wines and one of the best values I have from Barbaresco today. And then, hey, man, you got to live a little every once in a while, huh? El Pison 2002 from Artadi, one of the great new school Riojas. This 60-year-old vineyard, single vineyard site. You know, most of Rioja was always a blend, and Artadi was one of the first guys to start doing single vineyard wines and getting away from the traditional labeling of Reserva, Gran Reserva, Crianza, and just making great wine. And this is 100% old vine Tempranillo. 02, again, not an underwhelming vintage in Rioja, but this wine drinking at or near its peak right now. It probably should plateau there for another stay there for another couple of years. But lovely wild red strawberry kind of fruit here, and you really notice the minerality of this vineyard. Some lovely clay like earth notes to the wine, and some little bit of an animal kind of dried meat note to it as well. Really nice and soft tannins. And that's what I had to drink last night, folks. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.